they're done. And it's no wonder everyone avoided them like the plague.
TMZ just dropped a bomb on Blake Lively.
Robert Downey Jr. is a name that resonates with millions of fans worldwide, not just for his role as Tony Stark in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but for his frankness and wit in interviews. Whenever he speaks, people pay attention, especially if he drops subtle hints about potential drama involving Hollywood elites. Rumors have been swirling that he's made cryptic remarks pointing to Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, suggesting they might not be the wholesome duo everyone believes they are. The story goes that Ryan's rise with Deadpool and Blake's rumored behind-the-scenes dealings could be part of a larger pattern. On the surface, Ryan seems like a charismatic goofball, and Blake seems like the fashionable actress with an endearing personality. Yet some insist the couple played a clever game, pressuring Marvel into giving Ryan more control than any actor usually receives. The question is whether these rumors have any merit, or if they're just another chapter in Hollywood's endless cycle of intrigue. As you dig deeper, you discover the fascinating arc of Ryan Reynolds. Long before he became the wisecracking face of Deadpool, he was a comedic actor bouncing between genres, sometimes hitting modest success, other times struggling to find a breakthrough. Then came the test footage for Deadpool that supposedly leaked online. Fans went wild, demanding a full feature film. The clamor was so loud that the studio had no choice but to greenlight it. Many suspected Ryan or someone close to him orchestrated the leak, using fan enthusiasm to force the studio's hand. Whether that was unethical or genius marketing remains a matter of debate. Blake Lively, known for her role in Gossip Girl, stepped into the picture during the production of Green Lantern, which didn't do well commercially or critically, yet led to her relationship with Ryan. Soon enough, they became the internet's favorite couple, sharing jokes and playful social media posts. Meanwhile, Robert Downey Jr. spent years as the linchpin of Marvel Studios. His Iron Man role jump-started the entire MCU, turning what might have been a small experiment into a cultural juggernaut. He is known for his witty remarks both in character and in interviews, as well as an ability to pick up on subtle patterns in the industry.
We are still waiting on the amended lawsuit from Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. They're supposed to be adding names or evidence, who knows?
Insiders started whispering that Downey Jr. was taking note of Ryan's meteoric rise. Perhaps there was tension between the older guard of Marvel and this new wave of charismatic outsiders. Maybe Downey saw hints that Ryan had strong-armed his way into major creative power by rallying the public, thus weakening the usual negotiation power of the studios. Or maybe all of this is just pure speculation, with tabloids weaving a tale out of thin air. Yet the rumors persist, fueling online debates about whether Ryan's success was purely from passion or if he'd manipulated certain events. Lively's role in these whispers stems from claims that she exerts surprising influence behind the scenes. While she isn't typically associated with the Marvel brand, rumors suggest she's played a part in shaping Ryan's public persona and perhaps even aided in strategic decisions. Some go further and say she's shown similar tactics in other areas, referencing a lawsuit with Justin Baldoni, who accused her of manufacturing controversies to gain leverage. Whether those allegations hold any truth, or if Baldoni is simply countering her claims of harassment, is unclear. Nonetheless, the pattern painted by certain insiders is that Ryan and Blake, while publicly a charming couple, might pull strings behind closed doors to tilt negotiations in their favor.
Today is the due date, and it has to be done by 11:59 p.m. We have been waiting, but that doesn't mean the news hasn't stopped.
To understand why Marvel might care, one must appreciate the scale of its operation. Disney's acquisition of Fox brought Deadpool under the same umbrella as the Avengers, meaning that Ryan would inevitably cross paths with the core MCU. Marvel, known for its strict branding and carefully planned press releases, might feel uneasy about a star who appears to thrive on unpredictability. The rumored tension is that Ryan's comedic edge and willingness to test boundaries conflict with Marvel's standard collaborative approach. Directors and writers have historically navigated the big picture with Kevin Feige at the helm. If Ryan has an unusual level of input, shaped by fan hype and personal marketing stunts, it could cause headaches for those who expect a more traditional process. Robert Downey Jr., revered by fans for bringing Tony Stark to life, is rumored to have voiced private concerns about letting a star push the studio around. Some say he never named Ryan directly, but commented on how some actors leverage social media or strategic leaks to gain the upper hand. People quickly assumed he was alluding to the Deadpool incident. Others suggest Downey might have simply been discussing modern Hollywood in general, but the rumor mill had a field day. Meanwhile, if Downey truly disapproves, he's not the type to raise a public storm. He tends to operate politely, letting his opinions slip in subtle remarks. This has allowed rumors to grow as fans parse his every word, attempting to link them to Ryan and Blake. Underlying these stories is a fascination with the possibility that two famous actors, who appear so open and lovable in interviews, could be highly strategic or manipulative when the cameras are off. It plays into a broader cultural narrative. We love believing there's a hidden layer beneath the glossy exterior. Ryan and Blake roast each other online, post sweet tributes, and come across as witty best friends. If it turns out they orchestrated controversies and shaped narratives behind the scenes, that contradiction inevitably sparks curiosity. Did Blake use carefully timed public appearances to sway studio opinions? Did Ryan release test footage that was never supposed to see the light of day, thus twisting Marvel's arm? Fans want to know the truth, but all we have are puzzle pieces that might not fit perfectly together. It's worth noting that some of Ryan's co-stars have spoken about tensions on set. T.J. Miller, who played Weasel in the first two Deadpool films, said he wouldn't return because of uncomfortable exchanges with Ryan. Tim Miller, the original Deadpool director, parted ways with the sequel over creative differences. People wonder if these are just normal Hollywood disputes or signs of deeper friction. Then you look at the lawsuit between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, which erupted from allegations of harassment, but escalated to claims of defamation and sabotage. Some fans see in these controversies a pattern indicating that the couple is skilled at dominating the narrative.
There's always friction that happens when you make a movie like this.
This ends with me. I'm done. I'm tired.
Less than 12 hours after Justin filed, Blake's legal team doubled down.
Others shrug it off, pointing out that lawsuits and creative disagreements happen all the time. Robert Downey Jr. falls into this conversation because of his status within Marvel. If anyone embodies the MCU's core values, it's him, the man who launched the cinematic universe with Iron Man in 2008. He navigated negotiations for massive paydays while also setting a tone of camaraderie among cast members. Many fans and insiders see him as Marvel's unofficial patriarch. That is why suggestions of him calling out Ryan or expressing disapproval about sneaky tactics carry weight. If you imagine Downey quietly sharing that Marvel is uneasy about Ryan's style, it sounds like a wise mentor frowning upon a younger actor's approach. It raises the question of whether Marvel might limit Deadpool's involvement in future storylines or avoid giving Ryan too much control. Yet people who follow Ryan and Blake fervently argue these rumors are overblown. After all, Ryan is known for comedic marketing campaigns, and whether it's for Mint Mobile, Aviation Gin, or Deadpool, his brand thrives on irreverent jokes that break the fourth wall. He's used to pushing boundaries in a fun way that audiences appreciate. Fans say, it's just good marketing, not manipulation. Besides, they claim, Marvel was free to reject the Deadpool project if it wanted. The fact that the films made hundreds of millions of dollars shows that the studio benefited from Ryan's tactics. Blake's involvement is even more nebulous, since she's not typically on Marvel sets, so how could she orchestrate anything at the highest levels? Still, the idea that the couple might have found a way to put Marvel in a position where it had to do their bidding intrigues fans. The possible technique: you leak footage or create hype around a rumor that whips fans into a frenzy. Then, the studio has to move forward or face backlash. With Marvel always mindful of its image, that backlash could be costly, so they give Ryan more creative control, more say in marketing, and maybe even more money. According to certain insiders, Robert Downey Jr. was never fully comfortable with letting external hype overshadow the studio's carefully laid plans. If that's true, it wouldn't be surprising if he hinted that such behavior could undermine Marvel's tightly curated brand. The rumors also dovetail with the broader shift in Hollywood, where social media has drastically changed how stars negotiate power. In the past, marketing budgets and studio heads had the final say in how a film was presented to the public. But now, an actor who's savvy on social media can rally fans directly. If Blake did indeed use similar tactics in another production, That adds to the suspicion that the couple approaches their careers with strategic cunning. Then again, lawsuits and countersuits often spin wild tales of wrongdoing, many of which go unproven.
Bombshell $400 million lawsuit, another chapter in the abuser playbook. The strategy of attacking the woman is desperate.
Robert Downey Jr.'s role in all this might be as simple as him offering cautionary statements about the changing nature of celebrity power. With social media, fans get a direct line to their favorite actors, so the balance of power can shift in an instant. The rumor about him calling out Ryan and Blake might be the result of fans connecting dots that only partially exist. Sometimes, an offhand remark about stars leveraging the internet to get their way is just that, nothing more. But in a rumor-hungry environment, it can blow up overnight. Ultimately, the notion that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively scammed Marvel hinges on how you define scamming. If you believe that leveraging public enthusiasm, orchestrating leaks, or staging controversies is all part of a marketing game, then maybe it's not a scam but rather a savvy move. If you think it crosses a line, overshadowing collaboration and honest negotiation, then it's unethical. The answer lies in the eye of the beholder. Marvel itself might not care how the success happened as long as the box office receipts are massive. The fan base, split between those who love a good intrigue and those who dismiss these stories as nonsense, continues to speculate. Some content creators break down these rumors into meticulous detail, turning them into multi-part exposés. They might begin by describing the suspicious timing of the Deadpool footage leak, move on to highlight Ryan's comedic jabs at certain figures, then pivot to Blake's rumored lawsuits, culminating in the possibility that Robert Downey Jr. dropped a coded warning. By maintaining a consistent flow, sprinkling in short, suspenseful sentences, and ending sections with teases about new revelations, they keep audiences engaged for long stretches. It's a potent formula for retention, but it also means the lines between fact and speculation can blur. To wrap it all up, you find yourself at a crossroads as a viewer or reader. On one side, you have a carefully curated public image of Ryan and Blake as the funniest, warmest couple around. On the other, there's a labyrinth of rumors implying they quietly manipulated events for personal gain. Robert Downey Jr. stands like an oracle in this tale, possibly throwing shade or possibly just being misquoted. The entire narrative speaks to Hollywood's ability to spin mesmerizing stories that fuse partial truths, hearsay, and the public's love of scandal. Until official confirmations or denials emerge,
it comes down to the hard evidence, which in this case are going to be text messages, emails, and certainly witness testimony as to what really happened here.
Among the dozens of receipts in Justin's suit,
everything remains murky. In a way, that's the charm. The ambiguity draws us in, leaving us to piece together the evidence and decide for ourselves if we're witnessing genuine cunning or just seeing illusions in the social media ether. If it turns out that Ryan and Blake genuinely orchestrated Marvel's decisions, some might applaud their resourcefulness in an industry notorious for harsh gatekeeping. Others might scorn it as manipulative, warning that it sets a precedent for future stars to skip honest discussions and go straight to press stunts. Then there's a chance the entire story fizzles, overshadowed by the next big Marvel blockbuster, or the next celebrity meltdown. This is Hollywood, after all, where truth and spectacle often intertwine until no one quite remembers which is which. In the end, the only certainty is that fans will keep discussing it, dissecting old interviews, and searching for hidden meaning in Robert Downey Jr.'s words. Did he really suggest that Ryan strong-armed the studio? Did he wink at the notion of strategic leaks? Or was he just commenting generally on how times have changed since he first donned the Iron Man suit? If you believe the rumors, he was hinting at a dark side behind Ryan's comedic charm. If you're skeptical, it's just another Hollywood fable. Either way, you've now heard the full story, from the alleged leaked footage to the speculation around lawsuits and the whisper that Robert Downey Jr. quietly pointed a finger. Whether it truly happened or not might remain forever in the realm of rumor, but as long as fans are eager for secrets and scandal, the conversation won't end.